Hey, gun people. Uh, that's pretty good use of force video here. For the YouTube police, I'm trying to I'll post this on the we call that a clue. Because otherwise the YouTube police will block it on Think Like a Cop. So anyway, in this video, we have black police officers beating up a poor black man and getting zero media coverage. Nobody's going to show it. Nobody's got a problem with it. And what I don't get about these Black Lives Matter, black this, is they're hurt. They're missing the big picture. The problem isn't black people getting picked on by government. The problem is government getting too strong, too big, and too militarized that they treat all people badly. But unfortunately, the liberal left media is only going to push their liberal left agenda, so they only make it about the poor black person, when in fact, it's about government power being abused. And these cops are abusing power. But because they're black, they are not called, they are not held accountable, and they get black privilege that everybody tells you don't exist, that there's only white privilege, when in fact, black officers can do pretty much anything and they don't get called out. And I'm not trying to say that these black officers are bad because they're black. I'm trying to say that government power is bad and corrupt. And it doesn't matter whether it's a white officer or a black officer, or whether it's a white victim or black victim. Government abuse of power is wrong. And this video clearly indicates it, but there's no racial agenda or issue that the left can push their agenda, so they ignore it, which is why we don't have a free press, which is why YouTube is a censorship haven, which is why YouTube stops anything against their liberal left agenda that doesn't support it. So this video will not get the exposure that it should to hold government accountable. Instead, YouTube will be more impressed with how do we make white people look bad and black people look like the victim. And that's the problem with free speech in YouTube. But let's take a look at this. You can watch it until YouTube blocks it.
Oh, fuck down. Fuck
what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I was going to the store.
Don't you ever fucking put your hands on me. You
These niggas some hoes, bro.
Don't you ever put your fucking hands on me.
I was going to the store.
I don't give a fuck where the fuck you was going.
Hoes, bro. Chill, bro. Don't say nothing, bro. Don't say nothing, bro. Don't say nothing, bro.
Back up, man.
Don't say nothing, bro.
You put your hands on me ever again like
You put your...
Okay, so this is what's called street justice. This happens by law enforcement in the hood. Why does it happen in the hood more than it happens in other places? Because in other places, cops aren't constantly dealing with being spit on and told to screw off and flipped off, and dealing with the disrespect and the ignorance and the entitlement that happens in the ghettos. Why does it happen in the ghettos? Because liberalism runs the ghettos and they push this victim status, so therefore they don't respect each other, they don't respect the police, they don't respect society, they don't respect laws, they only respect I'm a victim and you're picking on me because I'm black. So this is, I mean, what came first, the chicken or the egg? People don't understand that cops react to the society that they're policing. So when police are dealing with decent people who act decent, who don't fight them, who don't argue with them, who don't always call them racist, who don't always treat them like they're the enemy, they tend to have more of a mutual respect and a connection to the community. I guarantee you none of these cops live in the neighborhood that they police. And none of the cops that I worked with, when we worked in our nasty, hardcore ghetto areas, no cops lived in those areas. We had no connection with the community. We were there as the government enforcers to go in when crime got out of control, when we had to take action in order to appease somebody or some group, not do the right thing. When we had to appease a group, we would go in, we would be the enforcers, we would be the heavy hand of government, usually run by liberal elected officials who created this crime through this entitlement, non-accountability, flooding the schools, flooding immigration, flooding the country with people that don't respect the law and order of the country and think that it's okay to be a victim and be lawlessness, and that the government shouldn't pick on them because of their color, entitlement, immigration status, religion status. All those protected people create this. And liberals don't get this. They want to blame the cops and the Republicans, when in fact they cause this environment that breeds this government empowerment and control, and then the ends justify the means. Because the media will say, well, you know, they had to do that. Officer safety, we can't let the police get overrun. Well, but you can't keep letting crime out of control and let good people. Either cops treat bad people like this, or good people get treated like this by bad people. Cause and effect. And people don't want to understand that, but that's why these cops do this. That's why this type of situation happens in your ghetto, liberal-run areas, to where everybody feels entitled, special, and I shouldn't have to listen to anybody because I'm special because of my color, my religion, because I'm Muslim, my immigration status because I'm illegal. You give all these special groups special rights, and the next thing you know, you have cops like this that have to go in and do this. And then the liberals go, oh, well, it's the Republicans' fault. It's the white guy's fault. These are black cops beating unfairly and using unjustified force on a black guy.
Put your hands on me.
Let me let you know.
You just put your hands on me.
Order by cigarettes.
You just put your hands on me, bro. So it's cool for you to put your hands on me.
I put my hands on.
Okay, again, people are going to think I'm justifying these cops' actions. I'm telling you, in the hood, kindness is weakness. If you treat people like, these idiots who are training people, telling you have to be command presence, you have to use you ask, then you request, and then you demand, and then you enforce, and you have all these catchy term phrases that everybody wants to go watch and say, oh, this guy really knows what he's talking about. He says all the right words. Well, you know what? I'm telling you, in reality, it don't work. Kindness is weakness. If you try to be nice to predators and people that attack for a living and people that get their way by being aggressive and people that get their way by taking from people that don't fight back because they're bullies, because they're in a gang, because they know how to control through force and violence, if you don't meet them with equal or greater force and violence, you lose. So it's real nice to say, well, these officers didn't use the proper procedure and they should have used their tactical skills to... It just doesn't work, people. And nobody wants to hear that, and the liberal agenda don't want to tell you, and the media don't want to tell you, and no white person wants to say it because they'll be called, you're just racist. You hate people of Muslim descent, of color, of religion, of immigration, illegal. You just hate them because you're white. See, they want to put all these phrases in there that turn people off and shut down the truth. I'm telling you the truth, people. I've worked in these neighborhoods, and I've tried to be nice. And as soon as you're nice, you know these guys call? You must be a rookie. You're an idiot. Look how stupid. They're going to take advantage of you because you don't have the same meat eater mentality, the same warrior mentality to face evil head on and to overcome evil with greater force. And because of that, you're considered weak, and they take advantage of you. And until people get that, evil's going to continue to grow. Liberalism will promote evil because of their, we got to turn the cheek and be nice. Evil people love nice people because they make easy victims. These cops are not victims. They're warriors. They know it's survival of the fittest. They know that if they don't demand respect, they'll be pushed around, beat up, taking their gun. They'll be pushed out of there and become a victim. So you either become a warrior that can fight back with the same force that you're given, or you become a victim. With that said, I think these cops get out of hand here in a minute.
You didn't when man, watch out, bro. Watch out, man. Watch out, bro. Why you walking on me?
What you want
I'm not
to do,
doing
man?
shit to you, bro.
I'm about to make you, dog.
For what?
You better back your ass
What
up.
am I doing? How far
better
you want me to
back
back up? How far you want me to back up, bro?
Now, the guy videotaping is doing pretty good at not escalating. He's letting the cop make the maneuver. He's moving back. He's still verbally kind of interfering, but he's moving back saying, hey, how far? You know, he's trying to comply. So he's making it harder for this cop to assault him. Now, the cop had his pepper spray out, and he was about to get pepper sprayed. But the cop didn't do it because he's realizing this guy's backing away. He's not forcing on me. And if I pepper spray him, I'm going to look bad and I'm going to have a lot of justification. So he didn't pepper spray him. Good move on the cop's part. Good move on the camera guy for saying, hey, I'm not going to be intimidated and stop videotaping. We need people to videotape this to hold government accountable.
The fuck is you doing?
I ain't gotta have nothing. Y'all touch me. Bro, how much y'all...
At first, I thought these guys were security officers because of the way they were treating this guy and doing all this. I was like, man, these guys can't be cops. And then I see all these other cops come in wearing the same uniform, like, holy crap, they are cops. So these cops are wrong. I don't know if they're wrong right now, but they're going to be wrong in a minute.
Motherfucker, let me tell you something. If you walk up on me like that again, I'm gonna...
After he put his hands on me, he can put his hands on me, but
Why you still walking away?
Now, this cop is in what's called, and I've been in this situation again, you've got to back up the officer because you're part of the police force, but he's trying to stay out of it and go, I kind of think he's thinking, man, this is really going nowhere fast. Just let us go. Let's either arrest the dude or let's get out of here. Because that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be like, look, dude, you kind of made your point. Let's either arrest this dude or leave. Because getting into this back and forth, we're just going to end up looking bad and we're going to be looked at as the aggressor. Either we have enough to arrest him, let's put him in cuff and arrest him, or let's move on. And that's not what's happening. This cop, in my opinion, has moved in. Not this cop here, the other cop, has moved into the aggressor. Even though by law, cops cannot be deemed the aggressor, I think he's being deemed the aggressor here because he's pushing the issue. The cop could walk away. When cops get into this, and if there's any young cops watching this, you need to decide very quickly. Either I'm arresting this guy or I'm leaving. Either I'm going to hang around and try to talk to this guy and talk this down, and I'm going to make this guy talk me into arresting him or giving me really strong, undeniable probable cause to arrest him, or I'm going to just go, you know what? Look, dude, you got to leave. You're trespassing. Look, guy, you've already assaulted me. You need to leave or I'm going to arrest you. Look, guy, I've already put hands on you because you got in my face. I'm going to try and cut you a break and let you go. But if you don't leave, you're going to leave me no choice but to arrest you. Now you set yourself up legally to defend your actions. Instead, this cop has got emotional. He got pissed off. This guy got under skin, and now it's a beef between him. Now, in protection of the other cop, he can't show too much weakness and he can't back down. Otherwise, this cop's going to think he's his bitch. And every time this cop responds to a scene, this cop's going to go, man, fuck that punk. I've been there. All you got to do is push him around. He won't pull the trigger. He's a pussy. I know I can push him around. So there's this delicate balancing act that people don't understand that's never been there on why cops do what they do and why they sometimes get themselves in trouble. It's easy to say how they shouldn't do it. When you're in the middle of it day in and day out, it's a lot tougher not to get caught up in it.
You ain't gonna knock me out then. Knock me out right.
Mike, chill, bro.
Where's y'all cigarette?
Chill, bro.
705.
Cause these niggas some hoes, as always.
705.
We need you to get
Fuck you.
The guy's still yelling. He's still saying, fuck you. And depending on the jurisdiction, most jurisdictions have a disturbing the peace law that if you're using language that would likely provoke a violent response, you're arrestable. If you have the ability to arrest somebody, it's usually better just to arrest them. Once you try to give them a break and it doesn't work, you can't keep trying to give them a break. So should they have just said, you're under arrest, dude, and put the cuffs on him? I think they probably should have. They'd have been better off. But they didn't. They were trying to be PC. They were trying to do a little street justice. They were trying to say, you know what? I don't want to arrest you because the DA is going to dismiss. They don't file charges here because we got more serious charges than fighting with the cops. So if I arrest you, I'm tying up the courts. I'm going to have to go to court. My sergeant's going to get pissed off because I'm making some BS arrests when we have real crime, actual ongoing felonies in progress that I should be responding to, and now I'm tied up with you, and my report's going to be some BS, oh, he pushed me and he assaulted me. And in violent neighborhoods, because that happens every day, all day, you just can't arrest everybody you can arrest. I always say, I have let 10 times the number of people go for every person I arrested. And I made a lot of arrests. But I guarantee you, I could have arrested 10 times, 10 more people for every person I arrested, because it just wasn't worth it. They had a little bit of marijuana. I didn't want to book them. They had a little alcohol in their breath. I didn't want to. They were just being mouthy. I didn't want to arrest them. They were just being a pain in the ass. I didn't want to arrest them. I could have arrested them, and I didn't. I pull them over, and they got some BS misdemeanor warrant, and I don't want to go book them for this BS misdemeanor warrant that's a year old. You know what? I'll just leave it. The next cop, maybe that he's got him for another crime, can arrest him. So I would let him go. So cops always let more people go than they arrest. If you watch the liberal left-wing media, you would think cops are out there arresting everybody just for nothing. But that's not the case. It's not reality. Sounds good, but it's not true.
I ain't neo-fed, bro. I'm saying about my vehicle, bro. You jumped out of your vehicle all the way over there. I'm posted.
Now, this cop, I kind of like the way, hey, look, he stands there, he's squaring off, he's not getting in a back and forth, he's letting the guy videotape, he's just standing there, and he's trying to disengage. Here you can tell what I call a target glance. He realizes that his partner's about to go hands-on or is going hands-on. He's got to get over there and help him. He can't keep this camera guy back.
Y'all niggas some hoes, man.
Give me a camera.
Relax, man.
Give me a
Relax, it's not
camera.
worth that, bro.
No, you done just maced this nigga, bro.
Okay. So, and of course the black guy can say nigger. If I say nigger, I'm a racist, but the black guy can say nigger because he has special words and he's a special person. He gets special privileges. Rick, you're just racist. Yeah, okay, that works for idiots and they may not speak the truth, but that ain't going to stop me from speaking the truth. It's a double standard. It's BS. It shouldn't be happening, but whatever. So this cop now is going to arrest him. He's going hands-on. His microphone's hanging. I always call that a clue because when I dropped my microphone and I didn't bother kicking it up, I was going hands-on right then, right now. I don't care where that mic's at. Normally, cops will click it, and, you know, we'll clip it up there and go, okay, we need to take this guy in custody. But when it goes snap, crackle, pop, and you're in the hell, hey, this guy drops the mic, that's a clue. It's hands-on.
Look at this shit.
Was that a proper takedown? Hey, it worked for me. Where do no people belong? On the ground. Does this guy belong on the ground? Yes. Is he a no person? He is a no person. See, here's where it gets muddy water in the court system. Did the cop follow him or did the guy come back? If you remember, the cop was walking around the gas pumps and walked away. This guy circled back around and came back into the store. Now, I don't know what he's arresting him for, whether it's for assault, whether it's for trespassing, whether it's for disturbance. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure the guy's arrestable, and I'm pretty sure the guy's a no person. And where do no people belong? On the ground. Did this cop put this guy on the ground? He absolutely did. Do I have a problem with his takedown? No. Guy went to the ground. He needed to go on the ground. Now we get into where I got a problem.
Look at this shit.
Put your hands on me again.
Okay, so this guy's not moving. So I don't know if he knocked him out or not, but his legs are not flapping and he's not trying to get away. He's not trying to stand up and he's not trying to use his weight to overcome the force of the officer. The officer is kneeling on him. He threw him down the ground, not to mention the poor property owner that he's supposed to be protecting his rights. He just cost him money, damaged product, damaged the shelf. Nobody's going to pay for that except the store owner. And, of course, he'll pass that on to the people that come in there and shop, but nobody wants to see that. So let's see what happens next.
Back up, all right? Just back up. Bro, why is you pushing me, man? Back up. Okay.
Okay, so the guy puts his hands on him. Is that assault? Absolutely, it's assault. It's battery. He put his hands on him when he didn't need to. I mean, in almost all agencies, if I put my hand on somebody, I either need to arrest that guy or do a use of force report. Now, if it was a person and we're being overrun by a mob and we have 15 people and I'm just knocking people back 5 or 10, I'm not going to arrest all of them. If I'm trying to protect an officer who's trying to arrest some guy on the ground fighting, and now I've got a crowd and they're throwing bottles and crap at me, I'm just swinging and I'm macing everybody and I'm pushing them back. In that situation, I can't, reasonably arrest all the people that I'm assaulting trying to protect the officer on the ground. But in this case, this officer is going to say he's trying to protect the guy on the ground, but I don't see this guy filming as a threat. I don't see this guy filming as trying to help the guy on the ground. He's basically filming. So was this guy's push on this guy justified? In my book, no. Remember, if you're a cop and you put your hands on somebody, you better be able to say, I was effecting a lawful arrest. I was either defending myself, defending my partner, or I was making a lawful arrest. If you can't say that and you're just pushing a guy back for filming, I think it's assault under the authority of a color. Is a DA going to prosecute the cop? Hell no. Is it a crime? You absolutely bet it is.
You don't have to touch me, bro. The fuck is wrong with y'all hoe ass niggas, man?
Is calling a cop a hoe ass nigger a crime? Maybe. Is that words that would likely to provoke a violent response? Maybe. Can a cop arrest him for it? Maybe. I don't think a DA is going to charge it. I don't think it's going to be a good case. In most states, cops can't be the victim of disturbing the peace. People have to disturb the peace of other people. I can't drive around and hear loud music come from a house and just go over and knock on the door and say, you need to turn your music down. I need a victim. Now, there's some crimes that the state is the victim, and you don't necessarily need to have a victim report a crime. But on usually lower misdemeanors, in order for cops to get involved, you have to have a victim and you have to have a complainant. So if nobody called in the house for having loud music and they're having a block party and everybody's at the party and the music's loud, as a cop, I just can't go over there and go, you know what, that's a little loud for me. I want you to turn that down. Because I can't be the victim of the disturbing the peace. I have to have someone else call me and say they think the music's too loud. So is this a crime because he called him a hoe-ass nigger? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on the law and where this happened. I think this is happening in Detroit.
Look at him putting his knees on him and everything.
You notice this guy is not moving. We call that a clue. When you have a person on the ground that's lifelessness and there's no apparent life in him and moving a resistance, really using more force is going to be hard to justify. And it's not going to be necessary. And it's going to be unreasonable.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so now this guy's still upset with the guy filming. He tells him to get the fuck out of here and points at him. I talk about cops giving orders when you can't or don't enforce it. Remember I talk about when cops are trained at the academy to get people out of a car? It's raise your hands with your right hand, use your left index finger, open the door on the outside of the car without moving your left hand, don't move. You give all these orders that there's no way for you to enforce it. And what are you going to do if they use their left hand and you told them to use their right hand? I mean, what is the consequence for that? Don't give orders you can't enforce. It creates people to ignore you and it makes you seem unclear, and you can't even have a person comply with your orders because they're like non-compliable. Use your left hand to stick your right elbow in your left ear. Well, I can't do that. What are you going to do if I don't do it? You're telling me to do something that I can't do, either physically or I'm just not capable of doing, or I don't understand it. What are you going to do if I stick my left elbow in my left ear? I mean, don't give orders that you can't enforce. First of all, it doesn't need to be said. Second of all, it appears you're being emotional. Third of all, it doesn't appear that your orders need to be followed or can be followed.
You should get out.
Why? This is a public store, bro. I can't come in.
You can't come in.
Okay, so he told him to get out and he can't come in. And the guy's made a good point. Why? This is a public store. He's correct. Now, the officer is going to say, this is an ongoing crime. This is a crime scene. This is affecting my officer's safety where I cannot effectively help my partner with this guy hovering over me with a camera because I don't know if he's going to produce a gun, if he's going to attack me. Therefore, in order to make this scene manageable, I want this store closed. Now, we shut down stores all the time. If there was a 211, a place got robbed, and there was a robbery, we would shut down a store. We'd tell a store owner to lock the door. Now we have a secure place, the store's closed, and only cops are in there. Now we can review the video, we can grab the video evidence, we can take our pictures, we can seize evidence. We have a controlled crime scene. So is this officer closing down this store because of this? I don't know. He didn't make it clear. Does he lock the door? I don't think he does. So why is he telling this guy to leave? He's not making it clear. And as a cop, you always want to paint a picture so it's clear in court later on why you did what you did, and you can justify why you did with a reasonable reason.
This nigga's hoes, bro. Mike, stop fighting, bro.
Okay, so now we have active resistance. This guy is trying to get up. Remember, he was laying down unmoving. Now he's on his knees, and he's trying to get up. Why is he trying to get up? I don't know. Why isn't he in cuffs? I don't know. Why they didn't jump on him and put him in cuffs when he stopped resisting? I don't know. But now he's trying to get up. Now we got more force issues.
Niggas hoes, bro. Mike, stop fighting, bro.
So we have the store owner here as a witness. We have this guy videotaping, and there's probably a video in the store. So they moved him out of the way a little bit. Was this movement to move him out of the way of the camera? I don't know. So a defense attorney is going to say that's why he did it. He tried to pull him out of camera's view so he could beat him. I think that when a guy went up on his knees, the normal way to take a guy down is to grab him and push him forward and flatten him out. So I think he was just trying to get him flattened out again. Maybe he was trying to hide. I don't know.
Stop fighting, Mike.
You better keep your ass
Bro,
down.
you recording this shit, bro?
You better keep your ass down.
You recording this shit, bro?
All this shit is recording big time.
Okay, so that's the first time the guy finally he's getting frustrated with this guy, and now he responded to him. I kind of liked it before when he wasn't responding. Then you don't get into this circular illogic of nowhere. I just would ignore him. Either ignore him, arrest him, or remove him. But don't get into a conversation or trying to justify and have a reasonable conversation with somebody that obviously this video guy is not going to be reasonable.
Who gives a fuck about that bitch ass camera? I'm gonna need you to back up.
All right, so again, now he's getting emotional. He's getting tired of this guy. He's getting on his nerves. He's getting fed up with him. I don't know why these guys haven't got this guy in custody yet. I mean, with two people there, by now, I always carried a set of hobbles on my belt. I'd have had this guy's hobbled. I'd have hobbled his damn legs, and his legs would have been immobile. And at least his legs would have been tied up. I mean, I don't understand why they don't have him in cuffs yet. This is not good. You know, I don't know if this is a macho thing, kind of like this cop said, hey, man, I got this guy. Don't help me. I got it. And maybe it's a contest. I don't know what's going on, but it's a long time to not have this guy in cuffs.
What, back? I'm not in your view, bro. You can handle your business. I'm not doing shit, bro. Mike, bro.
The guy videotaping could arguably say, I was trying to help my partner and tell him not to fight. If they arrest this guy videotaping for interference right now, there is no way a DA is going to put that in front of a jury. No jury is going to see that this guy videotaping was a threat to the officers or was hurting them. Now, will they say he was interfering because he was talking? Was he distracting the officers? Maybe. Is a jury going to convict? Is a DA going to charge? These are all the things that the normal public just doesn't see, and which YouTube, for some reason, wants to block me when I'm talking about it because I use words like pee-pee and poo-poo, and it offends some freaking liberal sitting behind a desk who gives strikes and blocks YouTube videos.
Mike, just chill, bro. Mike.
Okay, what do we call a cop putting their gloves on? Remember what we call that? That's a clue.
Mike, just chill, bro. Just chill, Mike. All the same.
Oh shit. Here comes the cavalry. Now, why didn't two cops take this guy into custody and you still have cops responding and you have a whole bunch of cops getting here now? Again, I got a lot of questions on this.
Same jump. What I do? Chill, bro.
That black officer just knocked his camera down.
All the same. Same jump.
Black officer. Man, that black officer picked on that poor black man just for videotaping. That's racism. That's not right. Oh, I forgot. Black people can't be racist. Freaking double standard of liberals. All right, hopefully you got some out of that. I know it went long. This was a lot of information for cops, citizens, people videotaping. Hopefully you got something out of it, and we'll end that there.